Hello everyone, Forrest here for some Hearts of Iron 4 August Storm. I'm also playing this with a few other mods, but one is an exonym or an endonym mod, and then which basically means that it changes the country's names to their native name in that country. So like Spain would be Espanol. Let's see. Hungary is Magyar Alami. Anyway, uh, basically new series. I've actually recorded a couple of test videos, but I never actually like edited them out and put them up. And the last video I tried to record of Hoi, or where I played as the same country I'm going to play today, basically trying to do the same thing. I ended up not, or having kind of a hiccup, I guess. I don't know, it kind of screwed up a little part of the recording. Anyway, so I'm going to jump right in. So, new game, January 1936. We're going to play as Japan. But we're going to play as a special type of Japan. We're going to play as a communist Japan. So let's give, the brief history. The Empire of Japan stands at a crossroads. Hokushinran, the Northern Expansion Doctrine, is favored by the army and calls for an advance into Siberia. Nanshinran, the Southern Expansion Doctrine, is supported by the Navy and has the rich European colonies in Southeast Asia, and the Pacific as its target. And then, of course, there is always China. Japan possesses a formidable military, but its industries are starving for resources, and time is running out. Which path to choose? Well, obviously we're going to choose the Workers' Revolution Party, or path of Workers' Revolution, and path of unseating the evil, Burgess, false communists in the Soviet Union. Actually, this might crash. So if it crashes, I will just exit out and then relaunch. Let me check to make sure that my recording setup is all set up right. Okay. Yeah. Alright, cool. So we're going to be playing Japan. I guess the exonym name, or the endonym mod, doesn't quite work, which I feel like is going to cause crashes. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Everything's set up good, and had a little weird wacky thing happen when I was trying to restart the thing, but that's okay. Obviously not going to play on Iron Man mode. I don't take this game like super serious. I just like to have fun with it. Gonna, invade, do some stuff, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So let's jump right in. Oh, and it's endonym, not exonym. It's endonym, which is cool. I actually really like seeing all the native names. Like nationalist or communist China is fucking like I can't even begin to try to pronounce what it is. So first off the bat, we're gonna try to switch to communist. So we're gonna go right here and say, alright, I'll read this. Communism on the rise. While workers rise up against their oppressors around the world, those who claim to have achieved class consciousness in Japan sit idly by and wait for change to come from within a political system so thoroughly corrupt, only revolution could save us from it. So speak new voices in the Japanese communist movement, referring to the rule of Taisei Yokusankai as the dictatorship of the bourgeois. They have begun calling for it to be brought out of power by any means necessary. Whether those means will come from within or without remains to be seen. Interesting. Spirit of Genghis and Warrior Code. Huh. Okay. Well, there may be those in the government itself who support such ideas, a movement for the people who seek support from the people, or a movement for the people must seek support from the people. I think we're going to go with the people. This is going to be a people's revolution. So, right off the bat, let's see. Is this it? Yeah. We're going to go with army primacy to get those. Actually, we're going to go reinforce the Soviet border. Yeah. Fuck those Soviets, man. I'm going to get them. I'm going to take them out. Oh, that's going to be a lot of resources. Oh, God. Oh, yes. Japan kind of is starving. Alright. So, we're just going to build an unlimited amount of these battleships. And once all these finish, I'm going to cancel, let's see, class 3. We can build class 4s. So why would we build class 3s? Or Kainchu classes? What's a Kainchu class? Is that outdated? I really don't know. Huh. Okay. In any case, I guess we'll just leave them. Alright, so let's get on to our research. So that's 3 years ahead of time, 2 years ahead of time, and that is the same year. But first we're going to start on electronics. And we are also going to start on dispersed industry, because the extra 2% factory output versus 5% production efficiency and 10% bomb vulnerabilities, it's a little in favor of this stuff. So build that, and I think I'm going to start on construction too, because construction, basically the first hurdle with construction is kind of the hardest, and then from there you're pretty much golden. So let's see here. Let's see. Should we go with assaults or infiltration? Anyway, that's a decision along down the road. Well, since we're going communist, and since Japan is obviously going to take over the entire Soviet Union, should I in fact go with mobile warfare doctrine? However, this is going to kind of gimp me because I don't have any armor in the game, and I probably won't have any armor for most likely the majority of the game. Because I'm probably not actually going to have the production capability to make any fucking armor. So I think I'm going to go with yeah, let's go with Grand Battle Doctrine. Why not? So basically, let me explain these a little bit. I'm focusing on Grand Battle Doctrine construction, dispersed industry, and electronics manufacturing, because this gives improved research. This improves the amount of factories you can build in each province, which is here. You can build military factories and civilian factories, and these drastically improve how fast. First of all, you need civilian factories to buy resources to trade, and the resources supply your military factories, which give you, your planes, tanks, guns, and your naval dockyards, which give you your ships. So yeah, that's what construction is for. And this is for our land doctrine, which is very important because we're going to be fighting these guys, and almost every single time that the Japanese AI declares war in nationalists or on China, they just bottom out and can't do jack shit against China. So it's very important that we don't end up getting bogged down. All right, so we're also going to look at our factories. So let's see. Once we get China, we're going to have a huge amount of territory to just build and build and build and build. We're going to have some impressive ship manufacturing capabilities. Alright, so let's start on some military factories. One there, one there, 3 there, 3 there, 1 there, 4 there, and we'll say 1 there. I'm going to leave out that one. Okay. So, the additional thing is that I am building, them one short, on purpose, one short of all of this, of every single state, because you can build synthetic oil refineries, which give you rubber and oil, and that's very important. So, you want to make sure to not basically be maxing out all of your provinces if you plan on maybe building a synthetics industry, which I may actually not build a synthetics industry, so, and that's kind of to be seen. Let's see, let's put 2 there. War fighter. Oh, we need the new level of fighter, don't we? Oops. Actually, since doctrines take so long, and we're going to need to be developing this fighter anyway, it would probably be better to just do the fighter instead off the bat. Alright, so I think we're ready to go. So I'm just going to have it at max speed because basically we're going to need max speed. And we're not really going to be fighting anyone for a while. So I'm going to assign all these guys to a new army and shove them under the command of Hisaichi Tariuchi. Yeah, so that guy. And we are going to... we might actually want to build some ports here too, actually. Let's check out supplies. So this has 9 supply. Alright, so we're going to let the game progress a little bit. This is 18 supplies. So, one of the major issues with kind of, I think, this mod personally, is supplies in China is an absolutely colossal issue. So, you have, all these Chinese troops, or all these Manchurian troops, and then your Mankukyo here. That means that you can't build any infrastructure in these 2 provinces to actually support your troops moving forward. That is a absolutely major issue, because the provinces are so incredibly, what do you call it? Supplies, basically void of supplies, that you can't really keep the line going. Like, you can't supply your troops unless you improve the infrastructure, which you can't do because it's under the control of the AI. So a lot of times there's quite a big issue with that. So let's see. Let's trade with the UK. Here, we'll just strengthen the UK because that's okay. Alright, so only thing we need left, we'll strengthen Germany. Well, no, Germany usually just steamrolls everybody. We'll strengthen France. France usually gets steamrolled anyway. Alright, so let's see. I'm also going to kind of adjust the divisions, because there's a lot of troops that are these guys, which is just absurdly infantry heavy, which in my opinion isn't necessarily the best idea. However, you know, it's fine for now. So, yeah. Alright, so let's start some research, let our focuses get done. So basically what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to pull my line up to about here, and I'm just going to sit on this basically line right here across this river and just park like two or so troops per province and just sit there. Not going to try to advance, just sit there. And any more resources? Dang, we need more steel. Crap. We're basically out of factories already. Actually, I should probably not build that many military factories, should I? That's okay. Build all those. Yeah. And then I'm going to launch attacks on all of these areas here, and then just wash inland from there. Because basically it's much easier for the Chinese to hold kind of a front where they're not going to have huge amounts of supplies issues, and a single front, because they just have so many troops, it's hard to, you know, get through all the troops. So, oops, it's still going. I need to turn off it pausing every single time I do that, because I automatically pause, just kind of, you know, having played this game so much. Anyway, Soviet withdrawal. After detecting our troop buildup, the Soviets wisely choose to withdraw their forces from the areas immediately adjacent to the Manchurian border. Our soldiers have temporarily occupied several of their abandoned border outposts. This will hopefully put an end to the ludicrous border claims the Russians and their Mongolian allies have been putting forward. A show of force was all it took. Fantastic. So I'm going to go with army primacy, because, you know, I want that extra. What is it? Oh, I should read these too. Army primacy, it gives 4 extra military factories and 5 land experience. Of the 2 main service arms, it is truly the army which is the strong right arm of the empire. Its ability to take and hold ground far outweighs the minor services the Navy can provide. By recognizing this simple, self-evident fact and devoting more resources to the Army, the possibilities are limitless. So we conjure 4 factories out of midair, as opposed to get some new dockyards or something out of midair. We don't have any things in basic training, but however, we have a heck of a lot of infantry equipment that we're going to need. We're going to need a lot more infantry equipment. Recusante. Yeah, we're going to need probably a good... What do these have? Artillery, reconnaissance, and engineer. Can we put anything else? No, we can't put anything else. Okay. That's fine. Soviet withdrawal. After a buildup of Japanese forces in Manchuria, the Soviet Union appears to have unexpectedly withdrawn units that were stationed right alongside the border. This may be a bid by Moscow to avoid a future confrontation with Japan, possibly triggered by the stinging memory of the defeat Russia endured in the Russo-Japanese War. The cowards flee. What is that? I guess that's a tank? I don't know. It looks like an armored car. Huh. Oh, and late game, I am going to want to start building some tanks. So don't you worry. Or once I actually can kind of have a production capability that's a little bit on par with building tanks, I totally am going to build tanks. Also, so let's go to the laws. So when you go to total military... or total mobilization, civilian to military factory conversion cost minus 40%. So it basically gives construction speed plus 45% to military factories and reduces the conversion cost of military to civilian factories, which I believe improves the construction time by 40%. So it's basically a much better idea to actually just convert a military factory to a civilian factory than to actually build civilian factories. Because even at partial mobilization, I still have a minus 15% civilian factory construction speed. And civilian factories cost way more than military factories. They cost $7,200 versus a military factory, which is $3,600. So, yeah, basically double. And that is, it takes a really long time to construct those things. And as soon as possible, I'm going to actually flip over to war economy, which I can do right now. I always forget that. Okay, so we're over to war economy, which gives us factory output, but, nerfs a few things. However, it's going to make us construct stuff quite a bit faster. Might want to flip limited exports to free trade. However, that can really mess you over, because it can make it so your country is just resource dry, and you can't basically build anything. Oddly enough, it's weird because you'll kind of run out of. I don't know. It kind of seems like the factory conversion rate is not quite 100%. So, like, your traded for factories can't necessarily be traded to other countries for resources, but those countries you'll trade them factories to get their resources, and then they'll trade you factories to get their resources back, and it just kind of ends up as a huge, unbelievable mess. I don't really know why, but it seems to happen regardless. So, yeah, that's something that I'm always kind of aware of. So another thing I could do is I could actually build up ports here. However, that's still not going to fix the supply problems up here. And I've kind of let the AI try to actually advance, and they can't do it. Like, a lot of times when you're watching Japan, they'll maybe make it into here, like at the most, and then they just bottom out with supplies, and then they try to land here, and they bottom out, and then they try to land again, and they bottom out, and it's just like, okay, you aren't going anywhere, dude. Just stop trying. Let's see. Wish I had more military factories. Can't remember how many China starts out with. Actually, we can look. Let's see here. China. They start with about 16 to 18 civilian and 6 military. Wow. Huh. How the heck did they win? Okay. Let's see. Select a new national focus. So this is good. I'm actually going to go for this, because that will make it so that land doctrine is going to be much more worthwhile. And I believe I'm going to go for a second one with this. Anyway. Yeah, so that reduces, or actually I can read that. Sorry. Oops. I never read these things when I'm playing. Now that the Army has recognized premier service of the Empire, it behooves us to devote more resources to the study of land doctrines. And then this just gives us 2 tokens. These are single-time use tokens that reduce land doctrine research time by 50% and give us an additional 5 land doctrine, or land experience, which is used for editing your divisions over here. So see, click new foot battalion, marine, artillery, infantry. Those all cost money, or experience in this point, or in this case, experience rather. So I'm gonna probably want to take these guys and put these guys on a new commander, and if you hit B, it causes your guys to strategically redeploy, and then you can just tell them to go over there, and they go over there. Strategically redeploy over there. We're also going to take the cavalry, because cavalry is going to be important. We're going to put that on the second army as well. I should probably be building more divisions, but whatever. Anyway, let's also take our motorized, because we're not actually going to be able to support motorized. And yeah, there we go. So I'm going to actually tell all these guys to go over there. Okay, so I think this guy looks good. I actually usually always have him. So this guy can only handle 12 divisions. So I have to promote him. Shoot, where'd he go? Disappeared. Which means he loses all of his traits and 1 skill. So basically, you want to promote somebody as soon as you have them, basically. Otherwise, they're going to get skills, they're going to get traits, and then you're going to just have to promote them anyway, so there's no reason not to. Oh god, we're still losing steel. We're losing so much steel. It's not like we've gained... Oh, we have gained a significant amount of factories. Okay. So, let's see. I'm also going to take these guys, put them, these guys. I can just stay there. Alright, so this guy I'm going to take, and I'm going to start building some battle plans. Okay, so we're going to say from this harbor, we're going to invade these 2 provinces. Alright, so, let's see, from this harbor, I'm going to invade these 3 provinces, these 2 provinces. So basically I'm just trying to get ports at this point. And from Hiroshima, I'm going to invade Shanghai and Hangzhou. Okay, cool. Now, this game kind of glitches out with troop transports. As you can see, if I take those guys, and then let's say I take these guys and try to assign them to there, which I'm holding control and trying to click, see, oh, research more transports technology to increase your naval invasion capacity. So I think basically what it's saying is you can do only one naval invasion at a time. And I'm assuming that's basically because they don't want you maybe having too powerful of naval invasions and like shoving, 60, 70, 100 troops onto like a wall or onto a... Let's check the tech. That's what I'm doing. Onto a shore, just, whatever. So, oh, yeah, okay. So you basically can only naval invade with 10 regiments. Okay. That doesn't really make any sense that you can't have multiple naval invasions going at one time, but alright. I'm assuming it's for balance. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, cool. So I'm going to build, I hit Z, and I'm going to build a front line right there, and these guys are going to move up to here, and then, and I hit X to draw a offensive line. I hit C just now. Oh, can't draw a defensive line. Or at least I can't draw one now. Anyway, so I hit C to draw a fallback line, which can go to there right now. And so we are going to put all of our troops right here, and then we're just going to have a fallback line. Spanish Civil War. A civil war has erupted in Spain. So, several generals seeking to overthrow the current government in Madrid have issued a pronunciamiento, and a large portion of the Spanish armed forces have answered their call to arms. This right-wing nationalist faction has occupied much of Spain, including the overseas territories. Loyalist forces and volunteers have assembled under the left-wing Republican government, determined to resist the putsch to their last breath. The battle for Spain has begun. What will this mean for Spain? All right. So, let's see. Now, I was thinking about sending some troops, but nah, that's not going to work. So I'm not going to do that. So it might be good to just send 1, 2, 3. Well, I kind of feel like I'm going to need to actually have a push here. So I'm a little bit worried about them walking up into our territory really heavily. But I feel like I'm going to need a decent amount of regiments to actually push there. Alright, so for those... Still need 2,000 guns. Do we have any artillery building? We do not have any artillery building. That is not good. We need at least like 4 artillery. Alright, so let's see. Whew. This is an interesting beginning. My throat's kind of hurting a little bit right now. I have not been drinking enough water. Do not drink, or do not drink enough water. Oh, right. So I forgot to do this, but basically you can kind of draw a an offensive line. So basically you can say, all right, I want you. I'm actually going to delete this, but I want you to immediately start going after this territory, and then all of your units will immediately go after that territory, and then you can just draw a territory there, and you can say, oops, hold Alt, do it like that, hold Alt and drag the other battle plan. Now you right click this, and then you click that, or click that, and you've assigned your units to there. So another trick that you can do, and you're basically what you're doing is you're building an offensive line after you've built your initial naval invasion, and then it sends your troops over to the first part of the offensive line and then the second part. And you can also get the rest of the regiments and assign them, which means now you have, a whole bunch of guys. Whoa, wait. I can actually put all that stuff on there? Okay. And you're... Am I actually going to be able to shove 33 troops in there? Huh. I don't know. Anyway. So, and then you have basically your whole army assigned to that little breakthrough. Which is going to be interesting. Anyway. Two things finished. Okay. I didn't even get any pop-ups from them. Huh. I wonder when that happened. Alright, so we finished Dispersed Industry. Let's see. I'm going to start with Interwar Artillery. And our plane finished. And I'm going to start with Support Weapons. Actually, I think I'm going to start on a mountain. Infantry. Power 1000, recovery. Whoa, holy crap, they get 50% plus 50% attack? Whoa, dang, okay. So basically, when you're fighting a war, generally I've found that it's a much better idea to actually have mountain divisions. Excuse me. All of your troops as mountain divisions and not as infantry divisions, because they're much more effective at actually... Oh, we gotta do this. Read this. But yeah, so mountain divisions are much better effective, or as you just saw, much more effective at fighting in hills, or hills and mountains, which can make a huge bloody difference. And I think that they also just have some other boons. I think they take a little bit longer to train, but in general they're a little bit more elite and some other things. Alright, Marxist sympathies in government. Although the party line of the Taisei Yokosankai is to strongly oppose revolutionary socialism, keeping a watchful eye on the nation's radical left-wing elements, some people in government are more open to the possibility. If nothing else, they see room for addressing the concerns of the people who look to communists for solutions without risking a full-scale civil war. Although they may be seen as traitors by those who remain loyal to Hirohito, these dissident voices may be the ones to ensure a relatively bloodless transition should the revolution come. We'll keep a close eye on them too, for many reasons. Fantastic. Alright. So, that finished our army innovations. Now we're going to start on our war with China. The Chinese still refuse to acknowledge our liberation of Manchuria, and tensions along the border near Beijing have resulted in several skirmishes. If we manufacture an incident, we can escalate the conflict into full-scale war. This will give us the excuse we need to deal with the Chinese once and for all. Alright, I'm going to start that, and with that, this is going to be the first episode of Communist Japan. Alright, thanks for joining me, and ciao for now.